I've just received through the post a set of headphones. Never had them before. Big ones, substantial, serious ones. Thought I'd try them on and see what I can do with it. Also a way of checking to see if you're still all there. Well, I am here, but are you there? Just check it out. So I'll try something of looking at some origami items and see how we get on. I think the idea is in about a week's time, I'm going to get a much broader bandwidth, and it'll be much better to be able to show things there. But this is just a little dive into origami from the very beginning to the most difficult thing I've ever tried. This is perhaps an early one from 1949, I think it was. It opened up into a little box like that. It's not completely finished because you then turn it into a little boat, which I don't bother with, but I quite like that. In fact, I often at the restaurant, out of the napkins at the end of the meal, make this into a little thing. I'll put this on my lap as if it's catching the crumbs. It's a little box, a very well-known Japanese invented design, and I learned to do that when I was 6 years old. It occurred to me last night, only last night, that what other materials could you make it of? What about this stuff here? Aluminium foil. Putting in roasts when you put them in the oven. Perfectly good paper. Well, sheet I call it. So last night, for the first time ever, I made one of those little origami figures out of aluminium foil. You had to be very careful. You had to make sure you didn't tear it. It was much more fragile, but it's fun. And the end result is really quite nice. It's got the flaps. It's got everything about it. And you could put it on your lap to pick up the crumbs, I suppose, instead of a napkin. But it's got some charm about it, but it also makes me feel that it ought to be handed over as a project to students at design colleges and say, what type of figures lend themselves to this material as opposed to origami paper? What are the materials, what are the figures that should be made of it? I think there must be something which is more apt and suitable for this material, but that's a start at least. And the last thing to show you is the most complicated origami I've ever tried. This was a 2-day effort, but what fun. It came out at the Gathering for Gardener number 7, I think it was, in 2006. This is the instruction sheet. Horrifying. Very difficult indeed. Fujimoto is the designer, a very renowned Japanese designer of origami, and this is just fold sheet. That's what the fold you've got to do. This is why with advanced origami, you don't do any folding at all for the first, well, few hours. Or well, you do fold, but you've got to unfold, fold, unfold, you crease, you make creases. At the end of about almost a day, I think, of work, I ended up with a sheet like that, which with our fairly low bandwidth, it won't be visible, but there are tiny, tiny, tiny little triangles and squares all over this. Mountain folds, valley folds, a lot. Most of the work is in just making this sheet. The end result is quite pretty. This thing, would you believe, is a single piece of paper. There's the front, where the butterflies are, but they're flattened at the moment. There's the back, very intricate. It looks for all the world as though these little triangles have been sort of stuck on the top. Not a bit of it. They're all made as part of the big sheet. That sheet makes a whole series of little triangles. To make it look like butterflies, you have to do one final thing, which is just pinch these up like that. So it really sticks up like a proper triangle. Then it looks like a butterfly ring. And the end result, when you've done that, well, I've done one here with red wings, not white butterflies, but red butterflies. And there's the back of the piece. And now here's the front of the piece, hold up to about there, and you start to get a sense of the relief of the rising of the wings of the butterflies sitting on the top of the thing. All made from a single sheet of paper. Amazing and very, very difficult to do, but very challenging and very rewarding. I'm hoping very much that I can get in a few of my other pieces that I make from origami, because I think it's, to my mind, one of the most enjoyable activities. Over to you. It's fun.